So today we talked about the element of design, shape. In order to use shape in an interesting way, we thought we'd try tangrams. So tangrams are a type of puzzle where you're given 7 basic shapes. And those 7 basic shapes are arranged to complete larger, interesting shapes. And there's some rules when you're using a tangram puzzle to keep in mind. You have to use all 7 pieces for each object. They must all lay flat. They can touch but should not overlap. You are allowed to rotate, flip, and arrange them, but you are not allowed to resize and you aren't allowed to overlap. Just a reminder of that. So for today's activity, you've been given a set of tangrams to try to recreate. First thing you want to do is go to this document here. You're going to find your name and go to your slide by clicking on the number. You should put your name in first and then you'll begin. Now, the order of tangrams goes in from simpler to more complex shapes. So I would start off with the first one for practice. Now the first one on some of your slides is a swan. So what you can do is drag your swan over here. This is a good work area. The next thing you want to do is really zoom in because your job is going to be a lot harder if you can't see edges. So now that I'm zoomed in, I'm going to look at the shape I'm trying to create and the objects I have. So I can kind of tell that the tail of the swan is a big triangle. So I can probably take this big orange triangle and then to rotate in Google Slides, a reminder that it's this little blue line that's sticking out. Holding down Shift also allows you to arrange things so that it's like a perfectly 45-degree angle. Perfect 45-degree angle. Now I can tell that's that shape. I can also tell that the neck of the swan is definitely the only parallelogram in this whole set. And then that leaves the face of the swan to be a triangle. So I'm going to choose one of the triangles. And I'm going to think about like the arrangement of this. So it's definitely something like this, right? Now, once you build a few pieces, the rest of it becomes a little easier, right? This part here is probably this square that's been rotated. Now I'm allowed to rotate things, and I'm not allowed to resize. Now, this has to be some sort of triangle because it has a straight edge here. I'm going to take this triangle and basically flip it the other way. So the flat edge is facing the right. And we're getting somewhere now, right? So we have 2 triangles left and we have this block. So now it's about trying to fit these. So this wouldn't work this way, right? Because then I would leave this gap. So how would this triangle best fit? I think it'd best fit this way. And now I have one more piece of a triangle missing, and I can rotate that as well. Not too bad, right? So the next thing I want to do is kind of zoom out back again so I can see my entire shape. I'm going to move my original silhouette to the side. I don't really need it. I don't really need it anymore. Next thing I want to do is I might want to clean these up and move them in and out, making sure they line up. When I'm done with my arrangement, I want to make a screenshot of this shape because I'm using the same 7 shapes for the rest of these. So to make a screenshot in Mac, it's Command-Shift-4, and that allows you to kind of make a box around the image you want to screenshot. My new Mac saves it on the side, so if I go into my Finder, I should have this screenshot, be able to drag it here. Now, I don't need this anymore, so I can kind of move it to the side or even erase it when I'm done. And I do want to shrink this down so I have room for the rest of them. So there we go, we have a swan. Now I want to move these pieces back over. You notice I make a marquee or a square over anything, and I can kind of move it back over here. So I have my swan done. Now let's go to the rabbit. I'm going to move the rabbit here and repeat the same exact technique, but this time with a different shape. I'm going to zoom past this part, but I'll show you the arrangement. So I'm going to zoom in again and work from here. I notice for my bunny, it's a little larger than the one I gave you, but it gives you the same silhouette. Next thing I'm going to do, same technique, I'm going to make a screenshot of my bunny, save it onto my computer, go to my Finder or whatever program you're using, drag it in, shrink it down, and move it over. Now I'm done with my bunny and my swan. And every time I'm finished with one shape, I'm just going to drag that shape right back over the tangram shape so I have it fresh here. I don't know why this came out with the stroke, but there we go. So far I have my bunny and my swan, and I can repeat this for at least 4 of the silhouette options. If you want to challenge yourself, go on to the more difficult ones in the back. And if you even want a bigger challenge, try to break some of the rules at the end and see what interesting shapes you can make with the 7 pieces here. Good luck.